Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to treat one of the absolute most in-demand, fascinating career paths in the entire world exactly like an epic video game. Yep, we're talking about the journey to becoming a software developer. Think of this explainer as your ultimate strategy guide to leveling up your career. We're going from an absolute beginner or student with zero coding experience all the way to a job-ready tech professional. I am so excited to guide you through this, so let's dive right in. Now, before we even pick our starting character, we've got to slay the biggest monster of them all, imposter syndrome. Remember this quote: freelance work isn't about being a genius. It's about using knowledge that your client doesn't have. You might stare at a blank screen and think programming requires, complex high-level math or some genius-level intellect. But the reality is that to a lot of people out there, even the most basic lines of code look literally like quantum physics. You don't have to know everything. You really just need a basic foundation to help people solve real, everyday problems. So let's bring a little order to the chaos of learning to code. Here is our exact agenda for today. We're going to cover the foundation, your first language, the roadmap, real projects, the trophy room, and finally, the final push. Starting with Section 1, the foundation, mindset, and consistency. Any good game requires a really solid base strategy. In programming, your foundational mindset is that coding is entirely about problem solving. It's not about furious typing in a dark room like a hacker in a movie. Consistency absolutely beats natural talent. You don't need to learn every single programming language out there, and you definitely don't need some innate magical gift for computers. What you actually need is to just put in consistent daily effort to build up those base stats. It's just like going to the gym, right? Writing a little bit of code every single day compounds over time into a massive, highly valuable skill set. All right, level 1, choosing your first language. Picking your first language is basically the equivalent of picking your starting character. Today, we are focusing on two massive heavyweights. On one side, we've got Python. It is famous for its highly readable syntax. People actually call it programming at the speed of thought because it reads almost exactly like plain English. This makes it incredible for quick development, perfect for beginners, and a total powerhouse for anything related to AI or data. On the flip side, we have Java. Java is robust, heavily object-oriented, and famous for its write once, run anywhere capability. It's platform independent and just a massive staple in enterprise software and Android development. Look, neither is a wrong choice. It honestly just depends on whether you want rapid, readable scripting with Python or a structured, highly portable architecture with Java. Moving on to level 2, the ultimate developer roadmap. We're laying out the core concepts you actually need so you don't get lost in the weeds. Step 1 is mastering your language and object-oriented basics, basically learning how to represent real-world objects in your code. Step 2 is data structures and algorithms, or DSA. Okay, take a breath. I know it sounds super scary, but it's really just learning how to organize data efficiently, like using arrays or trees so your code runs fast. Step 3 covers system design and databases. That means understanding both SQL and NoSQL, which simply helps your app scale up to handle lots of users. And Step 4 dives into operating systems and networking, so you actually understand how computers talk to each other over the internet. Master these 4 steps, and your foundation is going to be rock solid. Okay, level 3, the arena, building real projects. Because knowing the theory just isn't enough. I've got to warn you about a very, very common beginner mistake, the dreaded tutorial hell. That's when you're endlessly watching videos without ever building anything yourself. Instead, you've got to progress through project tiers. Start as a beginner with simple text-based tools. Build a calculator. Build a to-do list. Honestly, a to-do list is basically the ultimate rite of passage for every single developer. Then, step it up to intermediate. This is where you try a full-stack e-commerce site or an expense tracker, actually hooking up a front-end interface to a back-end database. Finally, you hit advanced. Think AI image classifiers or a real-time stock predictor. The whole goal here is to prove practical problem-solving skills to employers by showing that you can build functional tools from scratch. Which naturally brings up a really critical question. How long should your first project actually take? A lot of people suffer from this massive misconception that building a portfolio project is going to require months of agonizing, highly complex work before you have anything to show for it. But what's the actual reality? The answer is 1 to 2. Just 1 to 2 hours, or maybe 1 to 2 days, but absolutely not weeks. When you're building that very first project, like a basic calculator or a simple quiz app, your goal is rapid completion. You want to build momentum. You want to build confidence quickly. If your first project feels too big, it probably is. Just finish something small, learn from it, and level up to the next challenge. Next up, level 4, the trophy room. Let's talk about GitHub. So where do all these awesome projects go? Well, GitHub isn't just digital storage, it is your dynamic, interactive, digital resume and trophy room. Hiring managers are specifically looking for clean, error-free code performance. They heavily prioritize readability, which means you absolutely must have clear README documentation explaining what your project does and how to run it. They want to see a range of technologies, which proves you're adaptable. They look for passion and continuous learning. Having a diverse commit history shows you're coding consistently. And finally, they absolutely love open source contributions. It's an amazing way to get real-world experience even if you haven't held an official tech job yet. Trust me, even basic projects shine super brightly if they are well documented. And now, level 5, the final push, applying and building. You have the roadmap. You have the skills. Now you're facing the final boss. Consistently applying for jobs on platforms like LinkedIn, actively seeking out referrals, and deploying a personal portfolio website to truly stand out. Stop watching. Start building. Seriously, this is my direct call to action for you. You have to break away from passively consuming content. You need hands-on experience right now. Whether it's a small automation script for a personal hobby, deploying your own portfolio website, or taking on a tiny freelance gig to solve a problem for someone else, you must transition from spectator to creator. Write your first line of code today. You literally have the map to level up your career right in front of you. So I'll leave you with this. What real-world problem are you going to choose to solve today? The opportunity is sitting right there. Open your editor, write that first line, and start building your future. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay consistent and happy coding.